My daughter-in-law told my son I was manipulating him and he believed her. I never thought I'd see the day my own son would look at me like I was some kind of villain, but here we are sitting in my living room in North Carolina, and he's accusing me of emotional manipulation, his words, not mine, and guess who planted that idea in his head? My daughter-in-law, Haley. It started subtly, like a slow leak you don't notice until your ceiling caves in. Haley and I used to get along fine. She called me mom, brought me flowers on Mother's Day, and even asked for my apple pie recipe. Then suddenly, after their 1-year anniversary, things changed. She started keeping her distance. My calls went unanswered. Family dinners turned into tense, polite affairs where she smiled too hard and spoke too little. One afternoon, I stopped by their house to drop off a casserole. Harmless, right? But the look on her face when she opened the door said otherwise, like I'd shown up to repossess the place. You should call first, she said, crossing her arms. I laughed it off, but my heart sank. I wasn't there to meddle, just to check on them. My son, Jason, barely said 2 words the whole time. He looked uncomfortable. A week later, Jason called me. I thought maybe he missed me, but no, he wanted to set some boundaries. He said Haley felt like I was trying to control their marriage. I asked him to explain, and he hesitated before saying, Mom, you guilt-trip me when I don't visit enough. It's manipulative. That word hit me like a brick. Manipulative. From my own son. For days, I replayed every conversation we'd ever had. Was it manipulative when I said I missed him? When I offered to help them with their bills last year? Or when I told him his father would have been proud of him? That's not control, that's love. But Haley, apparently, had a different definition. She told him I was using emotional tactics to keep him tied to me, like I was some sort of puppet master, pulling his strings. So, I did something that took every ounce of pride I had. I backed off. No texts, no calls, no surprise visits. For 3 long months, silence. It nearly broke me, but I wanted to give them space or at least prove I wasn't the problem. Then last weekend, out of nowhere, Jason showed up at my door. He looked tired, not physically, but emotionally drained. He hugged me, tighter than he had in years. Mom, he said quietly, I'm sorry. Haley's been seeing a therapist. She told me she's been projecting stuff from her past onto you. Her mom was controlling and she thought you were doing the same thing. I just stood there, stunned. I'd spent months blaming myself, and it turned out this whole mess came from her unresolved childhood wounds. I didn't rub it in, I just smiled, made him his favorite coffee, and we talked for hours like old times. Haley even called later that night to apologize. She sounded sincere, and I decided to forgive her, not for her sake but for my son's, because the truth is, families don't stay together because they're perfect, they stay together because someone chooses grace when it's hardest. Now, every Sunday, they come over for dinner again, and when Haley compliments my casserole, I can't help but smile. Maybe healing starts in the smallest places, like a kitchen filled with the smell of forgiveness. So tell me, have you ever been accused of something you didn't do, especially by someone you love? How did you handle it? Share your story in the comments, I'd really love to hear it.